Even though GTA 6 is the single most hyped game in the world right now, and there was a gigantic leak last year that showed off a decent picture of what the game could be like, would you believe it if I told you actually missed some of the very vital, important information that's come out? What's up, everybody? Chaos here. Today, we are going over absolutely everything that has been leaked about Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm not just going to be talking about the gameplay that leaked or the setting or the release date, late 2024, by the way. I'm going to be going over absolutely everything in the giant Rockstar data breach piece by piece. So you let me know what you think about all this intel. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any future news on this massive, massive game that's going to be an all-timer. And let's get into this. Huge shout out to Turbo Light Gamer 69 on Reddit, compiling all this together because it probably took him a while to get all this in one place. And this video wouldn't be possible without them. We're going to go through each thing, and I'm going to live read it for you guys and kind of get your reactions as we go. So we're going to break this down in parts. Part 1 is location names, character names, radio stations, and new animations. And if you go over to what they said about this, they talk about locations. Biwak Hotel, King Neptune statue, and it says the protagonist will stand on their knees in crouching idle animation like in RDR2. The Angry Women event also seems to take place also in other different interior and exterior places from Ocean View and Washington Beach. In the dev menu, safe house is mentioned. Maybe there's new multiple safe houses like it was in Vice City. And I want to say, take all of this with a huge grain of salt. This is obviously stuff that's not confirmed by Rockstar, but you know. Now with the limited of weapon assault, maybe there's an impossible way to carry only one assault rifle on your back and 2 handguns and 1 semi-auto machine gun and a melee weapon. If that's true, that's a lot you will be packing. They say you can visit a pawn shop, a shooting range, a trailer park, an airfield coast, and new radio stations that could be broadcasting are Kiss Cheek Stand FM, Warm Embrace Gin Stand MF, Warm Embrace Rocking MF, Fist Bump FM, Trendy Knee MF, and it kind of goes on and on if you're into all the radio stations. Now let's talk about characters. Characters called Vicky and Shanice. Now obviously these could be placeholders and they could change, but we'll see. There's a 3rd slot that could be for painkillers. The diving has changed and the animations resemble the ones from GTA San Andreas. They say the wooden baseball bat makes a return. There's all kinds of stuff that goes on. We can literally just go down the rabbit hole when it comes to these leaks. Let's go into part 2. World events. Now this could be huge. There are some world and ambient events found in the leaks along with theories made by people on GTA forums. So they say there could be actual like world events that we get to do, which could be cool. And they say there's quite a few ancient labyrinths in Florida, ancient pathways that people used to use. So maybe there's a possibility that they're going to have these world events that are going to happen from time to time, kind of like missions, if you will. But then also think back to events. If you ever played World of Warcraft, think back to like the annual moon event or whatever those things were called. You know what I'm talking about, where you would go and if you happen to catch it at that moment, then you would get some kind of special whatever that proved you were actually there. That would be pretty cool, to be honest with you, if they actually did something like that. Now, part 3. Gangs, more locations, user interface, horses, and loot. Okay, in the debug text in one of the clips, you can see a guard leaning on it. Now, in a debug menu, you can see his name is Guardia Brothers Guard Male. Animation, lean wall back, gang vibe. Now, obviously, we're going to have guards. We're going to have authority figures. We're probably going to have gangs. It wouldn't be GTA if we didn't, so this isn't a big deal. Now, let's talk about some locations that they broke down. And the place Jason and Lucia are robbing is called Hank's Waffles. It can be seen on a window and on the building's place card. Now, in one of the clips, Lucia, I don't know if it's Lucia or Lucia, we'll have to wait and see, is in her car aiming her weapon at a building which seems to be named Vice City Neighborhood Enhancement Team. Now, we all know we're going back to Vice City, right? But there's so many different things that kind of just point to that. In the clip where she is aiming her pistol at the gas station, on the left side of the screen, you can see a location icon pointing at the left side, also showing the number of meters until you get to said place. It's kind of like Far Cry, where you have that waypoint on the screen, and then you make your way there. So we'll have to wait and see. There's also, this is a big one, under transportation in the debug menu, you can see written input_horse_exit. You've seen all the videos all over the internet about horses being in GTA 6, and all of that came right from this debug menu. So whether or not it happens, who knows? But if it does happen, it's going to be a big deal. It's going to end up being a meme as well, but that's cool. It's kind of like the Megalodon in Battlefield. Next part, wanted system, car dashboard, map coordinates, more user interface details, food, weapons, and main character's height. Let's go over everything they talk about in this one. So, wanted star levels. In the clip with the lady, I don't know whether to call her Lucia or Lucia now, and she's in a shootout with the cops. You can see the wanted level being at a 1 star. And then the police start shooting at her. Maybe you can resist the arrest, maybe because you have firearms on your back. I don't know. It depends on what you have to do. I don't know what the levels are to get your wanted to increase, but it increases to 3 and then to 5. So may just be debug testing, but we'll see how it goes with wanted star levels. Car dashboard. A thing that may seem interesting from the gas fans is the fuel indicator is low. Now in GTA 5, no matter what vehicle you're in, the fuel indicator is always full. It never goes down. We didn't get that sense of reality where you actually had to go find gas and put it in, because I feel like they would think that that would get very monotonous. But maybe GTA 6 goes the opposite route. Maybe they want the immersion. Maybe they want you to have to go fill up. So how would you guys feel if in the campaign story mode and online, GTA 2 online, whenever it comes out, you actually had to fill up your gas. You had to fill up your gas tank, whether it's on a motorcycle, whether it's in a car, whether it's in a tank. You have to stop at a gas station and make it happen, or go steal fuel, unless you're riding a horse. In that case, you don't need any gas. But then again, you would need to feed that horse. Red Dead Redemption 2, I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure the horses could get tired and you had to take care of them and all that. So I don't know. We'll see. That's going to be an interesting one. It really, really is. Then they talk about auto theft. There's a scene where, we're going to call her Lucia, is pointing a weapon at the gas stop. An immobilizer bypass can be seen added in the inventory on the top left side of the screen, which that may indicate another method for actually stealing certain vehicles. Now, we're not going to put anything on the screen here. Nothing of the gameplay. We are not showcasing any of it. We are just going to be talking about it verbally. Let's talk about eating and drinking. In one of the scenes, you can see Jason at that gas stop, and one wine and fruit can be seen added into the inventory on the top left side, which means you can eat or drink from your inventory just like in RDR2, which is actually very, very interesting. Now let's touch on weapons. In that same scene, you can see a polymer pistol that's added to Jason's inventory. Now, let's talk about height. You heard me right. The character's height, Lucia's height. In one of the clips, you can see her standing near a test grid wall made from I think it's 1 meter cubes with 10 centimeter squares. I don't know. And right before entering her cover animation. And you can see her height, which is about 5'3". Now, why that's important, I don't know. But once again, they are working on the biggest game of all time. So they're probably going to go really, really deep in. Now let's go to part 5. Flashlight consumables, real-life Florida locations in-game, car parts, more world events, more weapons. This is just the tip of the iceberg, my friends. So flashlights. In one of the clips, you can see a test NPC with a flashlight in one of his hands. In another clip with Jason, you can see the weapon wheel, and there is a flashlight in the top left slot. Also, one of the clips has Lucia near that gas stop again, and you can see a torch flashlight. I don't know. Maybe we'll be able to go into those ancient caves we talked about in Florida, and you have to pull out a torch if you don't have an actual flashlight. Consumables. In that same clip, on the left side of the screen, you can see a med kit. It's named a trauma kit, and it also shows in that you can carry 5. Now let's talk more about locations. In the same clip with Lucia that was mentioned, you can zoom in and see a road sign place car, which seems to be written, and it says Bocamar Bridge and Yorktown. Now these locations are in the north part, as it can be seen on the sign. So in this case, Yorktown can't be the Liberty City from Miami, as some have actually speculated. Now in the robbery clip, near Waffles, you can see a road sign place car, which seems to be written in Confed Hills. The view was blurred, so we're not really sure. But while Lucia is driving the police car, you can see on the left side an Easy Inn. Now, there's going to be so many locations. They go on to reference Rare Shoes, Leaf Links, Gellhorn Racetrack, Broken Bridge, Spaceship House, Broadwalk Hotel. It just goes on and on. Abandoned Research Outpost, Abandoned Carnival. There's so many. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Now, let's really quick talk about car parts. Are you actually going to have to go to a mechanic, get car parts, and if you actually wreck your car, fix your car along that level? I don't know. I don't know if this is going to turn into a simulator like that, but we'll see. Then let's talk about events from this breakdown. Farm Monster. There are events that can be seen on one of the panels, and they say Farm Monster Man First Visit, Farm Monster Man Chemicals Request, Farm Monster Man Chemicals Delivery, and Farm Monster Man Transform. Maybe this is Marvel's Man Thing. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be some kind of quest that you get to do against Man Thing or even Swamp Thing down in Florida in the Everglades. I don't know. We're probably reaching a little bit, but it's interesting to say the least. Now we move on to part 6. More Florida locations being remade in-game, more world events, main character details, and cars. Everybody wants to know about cars. So let's start off with the locations. More of them: Mansion, Squatter, Investigation, probably a mission, Fountain of Youth. That could be pretty cool. Hunting shelters, Keys Boatyard. There's all kinds of stuff. There's a drug house. There's obviously this map is going to be massive. Events. Rat Infestation. In the first part that they mentioned the event, probably similar to ones from RDR2 and Bully, where you need to shoot rats. Maybe it's a timed event where it takes place in an apartment. You have to get rid of all the rats. We'll see. Motorsport Hangout. BMX Hangout. There's so many different things throughout this that they talk about. They talk about drug deals. They talk about Lucia and Jason's faces. They talk about a possible scrapped main character that could just be a placeholder. It was a main character wearing a dark blue shirt, glasses, and a darker skin tone. So, I mean, I know all arrows right now are pointing at 2 protagonists, a brother and a sister. That's what we've heard throughout the leaks, but who knows? Maybe there will actually be more of them. Now let's move on to part 7. World events, attention to detail, witness system, robbery system, more Florida locations, animals, and fishes. I don't know if it's fishes or if it's supposed to be fish, but we're going to go over it really quick. So, world events. There's some events from the World Ambient Events panel leaked in the footage, which we talked about. A DUI sobriety test could be an event where you actually get pulled over by a police officer and you have to take a sobriety test. If you pass, you move on. If you don't, you may go to jail, which I think that's going to be just absolutely hilarious, to be honest with you. Let's talk about locations. Stuck vehicle in the swamp, sunken airboat, message in a bottle, probably another event, if you guys have ever seen that movie, which you probably haven't. Missing person poster shrine, lost crazy woman, UFO Animal House pin. There's going to be so many different events and missions that you have to do throughout here. It's almost kind of mind-boggling to think about it. Now let's talk about some of the attention to detail that they caught in these leaks. In one of the videos, you can actually see some people taking selfies while standing on the beach stone fence. In an event called Concussion, may mean an expanded injury system for melee fighting. We'll see. The diner is highly detailed. The cups are placed behind the counter, knife support, soda, coffee machines, coffee pot mugs under them. Waffle makers, paper towel holders, like you were actually walking into a diner. In the video of Jason entering the pawn shop, you can actually see scuff marks on the carpet from other people that entered the pawn shop. When he's on the boat, while he's shooting, you can see particles floating around in the water. The point is, the attention to detail is crazy. It's going to be crazy. In the video with Lucy in her dress, you can see her hair being straight instead of curly. It's curly in another one. This means that the RDR2 hair growing mechanic is in this game. Her hair color is also blonde. Others, you can see it's darker. Possibilities of you going to a salon and being able to dye your hair. Enemy NPCs change their stance depending on the object where they are in cover, like raising a gun or an object. There's a video where Lucy is driving the Viper on the highway. You can see the bridge from where she crashes. It's under construction. I mean, is the world going to change over time? Does the world dynamically change with what you do in your actions? I don't know. It's going to be crazy. Let's talk about a witness system. When Lucia's in the diner, you can see an NPC inside with a yellow icon above her head, implying she probably called the cops. And right after Lucia leaves the diner, her icon begins to flicker. And after Lucia gets close to the police car, the icon turns red. She's probably the witness. There's also auto theft, which is his Grand Theft Auto, so I'm not even going to go into detail on this. You already know you're going to be able to steal cars. You're going to have to hide from police, all that stuff. Now, let's see what we have left. 3 more parts. more world events, more locations, and races. Okay, let's talk about door keys. In one of the videos with Jason, he sneaks in front of a red truck. You can see a door from an import garage building in which a debug text says door panel locked, same as the garage door. You can also see a gate where it's written door unlocked. This may mean that locked doors are something you have to find a key for in order to open them. CCTV detection meter. In the same video, you can see a CCTV camera with the icon on the screen. Makes me wonder, will there be closed captioning TV all throughout the city parts of this, and you're being watched everywhere? There's also more world event leaks, Zorbing accident, by the store, bangs on windows, drug deal cop raid. That's all stuff that we'll just enjoy when it gets here. I'm not really worried about that. Let's talk about vandalism. A direct reference to Wynwood street art vandalism. Maybe you can get a side mission where you actually have to go tag and graffiti things. We'll see. There's parking disputes. It's honestly overwhelming with what is out there. Now, once again, this is all subject to change, and this was a early build, so it's an exciting platform to be built off of. There's even a backyard wrestling ring that was found in the debug menu. I hope you can go participate in the backyard wrestling. That would absolutely that would be awesome. I want to be able to fish. I want to be able to do everything. We all do. All right, part 9. Locations, attention to detail, more world events. There's lots of world events, lots of attention to detail. Let's look at locations. We talk about the shorefront. They talk about the Vice City Mambas football stadium, which could be like the Marlins Stadium. I want to look at what they were talking about when it came to attention to detail. Let's see, examine vehicles. Attention to detail. You can find raccoons rummaging through trash, even stealing food bags. I like that. During the diner robbery, cash register screen is visible, and also in the same video, leaving the police car door open for Jason. More world events. We're not going to go into those as much. I wonder if Bigfoot is going to be in this. Okay, here's our first thing about a strip club. This one may be another indication of the possibility you can see the map changing over time. Strip club construction. Maybe the strip club isn't there to start with, but it comes later. Everybody knows there's probably going to be one. It's GTA. And the last final part we're going to talk about with this leak. More locations, more world events, melee fighting mechanics, and vehicles. Let's open it up, and let's see what they said. It says there's a cave, a junkyard, and an island camp. It says there is an air station where there's actually like air vac and med helicopters, all kinds of stuff like that. A Kraken sculpture, paper mill ruins, pet cemetery. Hopefully it's inspired from the movie, and hopefully we can actually go there and there's some kind of Easter egg when it comes to Pet Sematary. There are so many locations, racetracks, everything. It's going to be overwhelming. This is going to be one of those games that takes you years to actually find everything. All right, a few more details. Hunting accident, both injured, may refer to both Jason and Lucia. And the fact that the hunting may be a gameplay element. You may actually be able to go hunting. Kidnap victim, kidnapping AI. You probably can kidnap people, which is probably part of a mission. Shotgun beers encounter, shotgunning beers, that's kind of funny. Throw and catch, talking about catch and release with fish. Prison hitchhiker, probably an event kind of like where an NPC solicits you to take you somewhere or do something. Attention to detail. In a couple of videos, you can see the light shining Lucia's ear cartilage, a nice returning detail from RDR2, and the interiors are pretty detailed. Example, the club, the diner, you can see the dirtiness on the floor, and you can see cups on the floor. Melee fighting. There's an event called Hop Out Attack. Fighting mechanic in which a move can be performed by a character while jumping backwards away. And in many fighting games, characters can jump backwards and away. So we'll see what happens there. And finally, there's a little more smoking. In one of the videos, Jason, you can see that it seems like he's got a cigarette in one of the videos. And then vehicles. Let's talk about a few names that are thrown around. The Ford Econoline 6x6 1988 van. Dodge Intrepid 1998, the Mamba GT, the Transgressor, the Vapid Riata Classic, and I'm sure there's plenty of others. So there you go. Did we cover everything? No. Did we cover a lot of it? Yes. Once again, big shout out to these guys for compiling all this together. And then also, remember, none of this is confirmed by Rockstar, and this was probably a very early build, and a lot of this has probably already changed or been improved upon, but it lays the foundation for what is coming with GTA 6. It's going to be huge. It is going to be something that we've probably never experienced in gaming. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you soon.